So, we're all buffing up here. You guys know the deal. Turn volume up a little bit, and we're going to skip to the first pack. I want your thoughts on something. So I'm going to turn my volume down on this. Listen, Jimmy, once I'm done, it's like you guys read. Okay, alright. So first things first, guys. First pack, if you're trying to go for trash and boss DPS, obviously keep your misdirect on cooldown. You want to be, a good raider. You want to be a good hunter. Keep MD on cooldown. Know which mob you're MDing to which tank, etc. Very obvious stuff. And then for the first pack in SSC, in pretty much any raid right now, I try to bust every cooldown out that I possibly can. You want to put all of it on cooldown immediately, because you're trying to pump as much damage as you can, and the more that you use your CDs, the more damage you're going to do. So if I play this right, I should pop my big CD, which is this button right here, and then I should also sapper as well. So I'm emptying the X to my main tank. I use an aim shot for the extra threat, and then I should be moving in here. Am I not going to move in? I'm already misplaying this, so learn from my mistake. Alright, I'm moving now. Pretty simple stuff. I use my cooldown. I now have my Dire Brew mug up. I should be using that shortly. If I don't, then I'm going to use it on the next pack at the very least. So one thing I'm already noticing that I did wrong for my gameplay here is I need to use an explosive trap on these packs, and I should have used a sapper as well. Get all those things on cooldown, get it rocking and rolling. That's a misplay on my part. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes in this video. I am by no means a good player. I'm okay, but I clearly have a lot of improving to do. So one thing that we can already learn from that, get your stuff on cooldown. That does include your sapper, your explosive trap, etc. Now if I'm good, okay, I use my Dire Mug Brew right there. That's good. Pretty typical stuff. DPS, the big ad. We're gonna skip ahead a little bit. Don't let your pet die here. Tonk if needed. My pet right there? What the fuck? How are we in that green stuff? Next pack, once again I pop my CDs. On this pack I did use my sapper and my CDs. I'm gonna reverse a little bit. Drinking. Alright, here we go. Wait, we're gonna reverse one more. There we go. Pop my CDs, run in. Traps down. I should be using a sapper here as well. Sapper down as well. TPS looks good. And if you guys have any questions while I'm doing this, feel free to ask them. Typical stuff on this pack. I'm noticing that I'm not killing the mobs in the correct order. Your raid should be marking it, as skull, X, square, etc., etc. Try to do it in the correct order. Obviously, you want to DPS X first. That's pretty much a given. We're going to keep jumping ahead. I think that I try to drink run here quite a bit. Popped a mana pot. Don't want to lose any uptime. And then, on most of these packs, guys, you want to get aim shot out as fast as you can as well. I think that's often overlooked. People keep aim shot on cooldown for too long, but you want to use that bad boy immediately and pump out that thing as much as you can, especially in SSC and TK where there's tons of multi-mob trash packs. If it's single target, it's not as big a deal, but especially on these, 5-6 mob packs, it's ultra important to use it as much as you can. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on just an immense amount of damage. So if I play this well, I should be using it quite a bit. Reposition a little bit, arcane shot, typical 5-5-1-1 rotation because I'm not hasted right now. I should use multi-shot here. Yep, good. Still doing, decent DPS for the most part on these trash packs. Got my explosive trap on cooldown. I have not yet used a goblin sapper. Gay porn, yeah. I use Mug and Brooch on bosses. Guys, if you don't have DST yet, use Brooch and Mug for the most part. I could see Hourglass being used in some cases on like ultra fast boss fights, but for the most part, I think that you're safer with the Mug and the Brooch. I wouldn't even bother with Tsunami Talisman. Give that to your melee if you can. Alright, so we're gonna keep clearing trash packs here because I know that we were missing, I think, one of our shamans, and he was running late. So let's reverse this real fast. Alright, so we're running up. I'm about half mana. I should be drink running right now. I'm too busy talking to my stream like an idiot, so don't do what I do. If memory serves, I start this pack with almost full mana. Yeah, it's doable. MD the tank, keep MD on cooldown, that is ultra important. Go in, multi-shot gets casted, very nice. I should run in for an explosive trap. Yep, explosive trap's down. You want to waste as few GCDs as humanly possible. If you play it properly, you shouldn't miss any. And I'm just, like, I'm keeping up with the Warlocks. Well, most of the Warlocks. Okay, never mind, I lied. I was keeping up with the Warlocks, and I'm beating the Warriors. Okay, I was beating the Warriors. I would say this is pretty decent damage, you know, for a Hunter on these multi-trash packs. We should not be at the top on these packs by any means. Notice our mages are up top, Warlocks below that, Warriors, and then Hunters. Your officers give you shit about it? They shouldn't. You need to tell your officers to check again. So guys, one thing that you really want to do here, when you're killing a bunch of mobs in a certain order, I see this happen a lot, especially in my own raid. People with pets don't spam their pets onto the next target as they start to cast, you know, a steady shot on the next target. I cannot stress the importance of just like constantly using your pet attack key to get to the next mob. So like if Skull's about to go down, I immediately tab target to X and I spam not only, you know, my multi-shot or steady shot or arcane shot, whichever one I'm using depending on the scenario, but I'm also spamming my pet attack button because you want to lose as little uptime as possible for your pets. Over the last raid week, I have used Steam Tonk a total of 98 times. I don't think I've used it yet, but you guys will notice me using Tonk quite a bit. So here I'm basically I have my mana pots up. I could use them. I've also got Dark Runes. I swapped to Viper here. And I should drink run. I'm probably going to pop a mana pot here. There's no way that I don't. MD's out from another Hunter. My pet attack key is a mouse key that's right next to my thumb. Alright, so I did pop a mana pot. I should have been drink running. So my pet in on X. Start with the multi-shot. You can start with multi-shot or steady. Just make sure that you keep your multi on cooldown as best you can. I missed basically no GCDs here. Keep my Bestial Wrath, Bloodlust Brooch, and Blood Fury on CD. I have not tonked my pet yet. Usually I'm tonking my pet non-stop on these packs, depending on how they go, but it looks like so far my pet's been pretty safe. It looks like the Hunters are playing well, none of the pets are running back to their owners. That's an important component here. Swap to Viper, getting ultra low on mana. Don't want to use a Dark Rune, even though I probably should. If you have the gold, you know, why not? If you really want to get overall boss and trash DPS. I'm still in Viper here. I really shouldn't be. Okay, I swapped to Hawk. Good. Pet's kind of low. My pet's about to die. I tonk him real fast, bring him back out after setting a trap down. Pet's on X. I did just use another Super Sapper there, keeping that on CD for the most part. I try to have it up for bosses whenever possible, especially on a boss like, you know, Morgrim, maybe even Calithresh, although if you do use Sappers on Calithresh, there's a very good chance that you will not have them up for Morgrim. So, something to keep in mind. I don't know how fast your guys' guilds are, but, yeah. Alright, so now I finally start drink running. Guys, if you don't have a bar like this one that shows you when a drink run, I would highly urge you to get it. You can save so much time and mana by using this effectively. Keep in mind, I am not using this effectively in this run. I should be doing it a hell of a lot more, and I'm not. So, swap back to Hawk. That's good. Don't want to go in with Viper. Set pet in. Multi-shot. Typical 5-1 opener. Should be using an arcane shot here. I use the arcane. Okay, big important thing here, guys. When you're running in, trying to close gaps to put a trap down like I am, I'm going to show you in detail what I mean. Keep your arcane shot on cooldown so that, or off cooldown rather, so that you can use it. So watch. Steady shot, and I jump ahead while using arcane shot midair. I'm losing as little uptime as possible while I need to run in to get an explosive trap down. Maybe you need to get a sapper off. Maybe you just need to run in to get close to the mobs in case it's a mob that charges out. Keeping arcane shot for that purpose is massive. And if arcane shot is already being used or you can't use it for whatever reason, you can also use Serpent Sting. Serpent Sting is not very mana efficient. It doesn't do nearly, as much damage. It's not as good a spell, but that's also something that you can use if you absolutely have to run in that moment and you want to not waste a GCD. So I open with my steady shot, hit the multi-shot, hit another steady shot, and I think I hit one more arcane to run in a typical 5-5-1-1 fashion. And I should be placing a trap here. Yep, arcane trap, or explosive trap, sorry. Then I'm back on that 5-5-1-1. My pet comes out for a moment. Typical pet UI. Feign death because somehow one of those mobs aggroed to me. And guys, I'm keeping multi-shot on cooldown. I'm using my traps on these packs at least once per pack as best I can. I should be using my Bestial Wrath unless we turn around here to go kill Hydros. I'm not entirely sure which one it's going to be. But essentially, I'm pumping out as much damage as I can after the giant AoE classes, like the Locks, the Mages, the Warriors, etc. Little melee weave in action right there, the big 57 damage coming out from my fist weapon. And then I think here we run back to Hydros. Okay, yes. So usually, guys, we don't clear the trash that way before we kill Hydros, but in this case, we did because we were waiting on one player. Okay, so I've got Devil Sword Tooth and Gnomish Battle Chicken equipped. A lot of you guys probably won't be using the Battle Chickens. It's kind of a raid-wide thing to make it super effective. If only you have it, you can still make it work, especially if you're in a group with other melee, which you should be. But the key here, use my Devil Sword Tooth. I ensure that my pet gets no auto attacks off prior to the boss, and I can guarantee that my pet's first auto attack will be a crit. That gets Frenzy going. It's a great way to open a boss fight. Nice little bit of extra damage guaranteed, and you really don't have to do anything for it. So I use Devil Sword Tooth. I'm going to swap back to my Brooch. Chickens should be getting used here, and as soon as I use a chicken, I will trinket swap back to my Dire Brewmug. Hello Enthos, would recommend Agi Elixir Mageblood instead of Flax of Assault. Yes, it's very slightly better, especially on long boss fights. That mana regen does come in handy. Not a huge difference, man. If you're wiping a lot and you want to save some gold, you could do the Elixir, or sorry, the Flask, but I myself prefer the Agility and the Mageblood. So I'm going to skip ahead here. I think they were waiting for something. Our warriors are building Rage on one of these. No DST, no sir. We should be popping chickens here pretty soon. I can probably skip ahead on this. I don't think we get any squawks, so... If you guys want to do a chicken strategy, this is just, this is out there for you to try. These mobs have very few or very little HP though. Okay, so we pop chickens, I get a melee attack off, and then the only way to get squawks is if you don't kill the mob fast, and it looks like someone's DPSing it a little bit. Yeah, I think we just go without any squawks at all. So I got my trinkets back to normal. My second one's coming off CD soon. And I think this is where we go. I believe our rogue is getting slice and dice off this, but I could be mistaken. Alright, we run in as a raid. I'm the third MD here, so I'm not going to MD as we run in. Okay, so quick shots off the back. That's nice. I MD as soon as I can. Big CDs, go to a 2-1 macro immediately. Firing super fast, I got quick shots as well. This is a pretty solid opener. I'm opening with, let's see, I'm about 3k DPS right now, give or take. Keep multi-shot on cooldown, even when I'm hasted like this. Alright, my big CDs fall off. I should be popping my second trinket here any moment. If I'm good. I'm not good, I'm not using it. What's up, Delty? Hope you're having a good night, brother. Alright, so I already made one mistake. The mistake that I made was I popped my second trinket as lust is falling off. Don't do that. Try not to do that. If you get a fast lust, you can get your first round of cooldowns with your Bloodlust Brooch off, and assuming you have a second activatable trinket like I do, you can pop that for the second half of lust, assuming you pop your cooldowns fast enough. Big mistake on my part, little chunk of a DPS loss happens. Something to learn from. Some bad RNG here, taking some damage, losing some uptime. Okay, we got the second lust here. So not a huge deal, but I feel like in most of your guys' runs, you're going to be getting one lust in total, maybe two. Not back-to-back like we are. So here's a mistake that I make. I need to position myself better in future runs because I lost a lot of uptime there by having to reposition since the boss got too close to me. So I think in the future, I'm going to go either hard right or hard left. Being in the middle did not do me any favors there. So here I am now. My rotation's kind of all out of whack now. I pop a sapper because there's a lot of mobs next to me, so not a bad sapper usage. Despite the fact that I got close, I was able to do that, which is nice. So you can salvage bad position like this, guys. Like if you get too close to a pack and you have to run away, you can still sapper while running away. I think someone dies here. I could be mistaken though. I might be thinking about another run that we had. Okay, so boss is about to die. He gets moved back. We gotta get, what, one more arcane shot off, maybe? Oh yeah, we got like 2 people dead now. Alright, so I ended the fight at what, 2.3k? Chris and I were basically tied on DPS. Not bad. We had 2 people die.
God damn, that's a good ring. Holy fuck.
That is not a good ring. I was full of shit when I was saying that. The biggest things that I would change in that fight was I would pop my second trinket more quickly. I did get the sapper off, but that was kind of unexpected. So maybe I should have drummed as I was running in instead. But I did get the sapper off. It was a nice little bit of damage, but in an ideal scenario, I'm not getting close enough to the boss to need to sapper there. Because that's going to force me to reposition, and I'm going to lose shots uptime. So I think we're just running for a bit here. I think we do lurker. The fuck is a lurker?
I don't think there's a need for it, man.
Are we not going for it? Oh, we're waiting for lust, that's right. Okay. Reverse a little bit. Reverse a little bit more. A little bit more. Alright. I don't know if I MD here or not. I don't think I'm on the MD on this one. So mage is the first target. So one thing here that's different than the other packs, guys, if you have sheeped packs like we do on these, like if you have one mob that gets sheeped, you can't really multi-shot off the bat until the mobs are in position to do so. So on the rest of the packs where we're sheeping and CCing nothing, I can just open with a nice auto, steady, into multi-shot. But since I run the risk of breaking a sheep here, I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to open with an auto, steady, arcane shot. It's on CD right now if you can see that. And then once these mobs are moved back a little bit more, I should be using multi-shot. There we go. Big damage. Pop my CDs. I know it's trash packs, guys, but if you're going for that overall trash and boss DPS, using your CDs as much as you can while ensuring you still have them up for bosses, super important. I cannot stress it enough. I think it's overlooked in a lot of regards. So here's the thing. We're waiting for lust. I know we've still got at least 6 minutes or so before we're killing the boss, lurker below. So, dude, I can't say that boss's name right. What's wrong with me? So we're chilling. One thing from this trash pack I could have done better. I could have misdirected and I could have used an explosive trap earlier. I did neither of those things. So I think that we pull this big guy on the left here. Yeah, I think he pulls it just a little bit early. I don't know if we suffer from this or not. I feel like we do. Yeah, that rain of fire is blocking that bridge. Onto the big guy. I'm getting way too close, guys. If you're a hunter, which I feel like most people watching this are hunters, you want to be farther back while keeping your pet up there, because once he does his quake, yeah, so like watch, I gotta run. Uptime lost once again. And when this happens, you can choose to either bring your pet back or you can just tonk. The choice is yours, and I guess it really depends on your position and how low your pet is.
2 on uses the play, yeah.
Am I searching to win Serpent, or do you think it's still enough? I wouldn't do it, man. It's not worth the effort, in my opinion.
Right now, there really aren't.
What's up, Citadel? In general, what do you think separates a 90 parts from a 95? I'm assuming you need 2 less to get any higher than that. Yeah, less are definitely important, man. But I think kill time is the biggest factor of all. Kill time and raid comp are 2 big factors. I cannot stress those enough. If you don't have, say, a feral druid in your 5-man party, and you don't have, an optimal raid comp with decent kill times, you're just not gonna break into the high numbers. The biggest thing about parses, man, is like it's not an individual thing. Like obviously, individual play is important to some degree. It's definitely a big factor, but the bigger contributors, in my opinion, are raid comp, kill times, and the amount of lust you get. I just want to state off the bat that I absolutely hate this boss, and I'm pretty sure my pet dies on this week's attempt, though I could be wrong. I think I only hit like 1400 or something like that. So I'm gonna skip ahead.
I'm gonna do this fight properly yet, though. If I'm
All right. He's up. I got the MD, so I'm immediately like tap. So if you have the MD on this boss, what I do is I just spam tab target and I just keep spamming arcane shot to get a fast shot off. CDs are out, hitting a 2-1. Quick shots finally came up. Good.
oh, that was bad.
Not doing my rotation super well here.
Chris, MD. MD, Chris.
So Lust is up. I should be using my second trinket here, but I'm not. I get knocked back like an idiot. I'm jumping up a little bit too much. The more you jump, the more damage you take. Alright, my pet's back. Not a bad opener. I'm at like 2.3k right now. I'm gonna have to jump in the water here, guys. This is what you want to do to keep your rotation going. You can use all your spells from the water like this. I'm a little bit too close here. I should have jumped and stayed closer to the back side. I don't know why I jumped back in. I'm an idiot. I made a big mistake here. I put my pet... So, alright. Let's break this down real fast.
Pet needs heals, please.
Yeah, my pet's just dead. Okay.
Pet dead, dude.
I know why my pet's dead. I'm an idiot for doing what I just did. So I summoned my pet as I was still in the water. Watch this. I'm jumping up and I summon him as I'm in the air. And my pet gets spawned in the water and I can't bring him up. Don't do that. I learned my lesson in a really shitty way. Gotta res my pet now. That entire parse, everything about this boss is automatically scuffed because my pet died. If your pet dies, guys, that's automatically gonna mean like you're not getting a 99, you're not doing anywhere near the amount of damage you could be doing. Overall, it just completely destroys that attempt for you, personally. It's a big chunk of the raid damage taken away as well. So I think that for a while, the hunters and I were freeze trapping these, but I think since they do such little damage that we just DPS them from now on. So the melee and the other casters get the ones that start on the left, and then the hunters just get these 2 dead as fast as we can. I just put them on stay and keep them on passive ring spout never dies. Yeah, that's the move, ideally.
Really nervous, like an idiot.
And if you guys are panicking on Lurker, which I do all the time, just tonk it real fast and make sure that whatever you do, you only summon him when you're on the main platform. So I got my mana destroyed by having to resummon my pet. I've got no pots up anytime soon, though I do have a fell mana pot ticking right now. But yeah, Chris is already crushing me on damage by like 200 DPS because he didn't have to resummon his pet and I did. Tonked my pet there because he was kind of low. I just get nervous about that kind of stuff. If you guys think there's a chance your pet might die, I would just tonk it, man. It's just not worth the risk. So second set of CDs is popped. I've got everything except for rapid fire. I think that I use rapid fire again, but there's a chance that I miss out on it. If you guys have all your CDs in one button like I do, I've got a couple buttons like that, but the main one I use has Bloodless Brooch, Blood Fury, Bestial Wrath, Rapid Fire. And, okay, so I did use Rapid Fire. Good, 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 good. I see a lot of people put all their CDs in the same macro, and then they forget to use Rapid Fire because they use their CDs again before the 3-minute cooldown is up. Which, you know, I do that all the time, personally. There's a lot of ways to optimally use your CDs while using Rapid Fire, either on its own or with your second trinket. Now, we barely killed the boss before his second submerge there. We've got a couple people dead. I don't know how Chris died. He still crushed me on the meters because his pet did not die early like mine did. Not a good attempt. Just, you know, as a raid, I don't think this is a very good attempt. I personally misplayed it really, really badly. Pets are so important, guys. Keep them alive. Does Chris have a 2-foot long cock? No, I don't think so, but he's got some giant, weird-ass feet. I will tell you that. Like, unusually giant feet. So, you know what? He might, dude. Alright, we're gonna skip ahead. Alright, next trash pack. This is another sheeping pack, guys, so I'm not gonna be opening with multi-shot if I have half of a brain. Last time I checked, I have half a brain, but who knows?
Can my pet get buffs?
I'm being an idiot. I'm asking to get my pet buffed, which I do probably 5 times a night, because I let my pet die a lot. Don't be like me. I think someone else MD'd Dardre here. What I should be doing here is MDing our Paladin tank Sir and getting those mobs to him. I'm still kind of not entirely used to our MD assignments on these. They've gotten a lot better since this raid 2 weeks ago. Fodum's your favorite hunter? Dude, he's my favorite hunter too. He's playing survival. He's a fucking legend as far as I'm concerned. Fodum is the man. So another decent trash pack. I use a sapper here, as you guys can see. I did not use an explosive trap, which I should have done, but I pop CDs. If you're popping CDs, you don't get an explosive trap off. That's understandable. You've got more uptime on your shots, which is important when you're using Bestial Wrath and whatnot. So we got one more. My rapid fire is coming up. I don't know if I use it here. My pet drops low. Tonk it. Bring it back in. He got to like a quarter of his HP pool. I get ultra nervous. What order is your 1-button macro in? I think Bestial Wrath is first. It's my tooltip for it, most definitely, because it's the jankiest one to cast. Sometimes I'll hit the macro and I won't go off. So I should be on the caster packs here. I'm not because I'm an idiot. Alright, so I'm swapping to the caster packs. Notice, guys, I keep my pet on the melee packs. You don't want your pet on these caster packs. They'll get owned. So one thing that you can do, guys, and you're going to have to do this a lot of the time in TBC, is you keep your pet on one pack and you auto-attack another. Now my pet starts going in because I'm an idiot and the pack that he was on died. I'm going to tonk here any moment. If I'm good at the game. I might not be good at the game. No, I brought him back. Okay. If you have MC'd friendlies, don't attack them, guys. That's a given. Pop my CDs again. This time I have rapid fire up. Big damage. Notice, guys, I kept my arcane shot there until I had to move because I thought that some kind of AoE spell might come out. So I'm not using my arcane shot because I have it in my arsenal to use if I gotta move real fast. It's the only spell that we can really use that's a projectile that we can use while running. Like I said earlier, Serpent Sting works too, but it's not nearly as potent. I'm using Brooch and DST for long boss fights. Should I save Brooch and Blood for one? So it depends on the boss length. It depends on how long the fight is, man. For example, if your boss fight is 3 minutes, you're not going to get a second rapid fire use up no matter what you do, whereas you can definitely get 2 uses of your 2-minute cooldowns. It all goes back to boss length. If it's a 4-minute fight, you're not going to get 3 rounds of 2-minute CDs, so obviously you want to line them up with your rapid fire for the second go, assuming you use them within the first minute. All that's dependent on the boss itself, when you want to be using CDs, when Lust is popped as well, and more than anything, the length of the fight. Our boss fights, at least most of them, are fast enough to the point where I'm not saving rapid fire for the second round.
I can post my pet spec in here for SSC later if you guys want. It's actually not mine. It's a guy named Lil Shakes. He is the hunter guru, which I go to for any and all hunter-related advice. I deem him the hunter king, even though no one really knows who he is outside of like peace server players and whatnot.
Alright, full man on this pack. I open with Arcane Shot because, again, there's a sheeped mob. I should be using multi-shot, run in, don't miss a GCD. Pop my trap. I could have got a sapper off. I probably should have, even if it's just a goblin sapper. One thing to keep in mind, guys, notice how, real fast, I've got super sapper here and goblin sapper here. These do not share a cooldown. Using one of them will put the other one on a 1-minute cooldown, but you can definitely use both. So on a fight like Moragrim, which is coming up, I use my big sapper on the first Murloc pack, and then I use a smaller sapper on the second Murloc pack, because there's only a 1-minute differential between them. So I'm not really using a sapper on Leo, so I could be getting away with using it here. I really should be. You'll notice on these packs of the mushrooms, and how much raid-wide damage goes out, you might need to tonk your pet here and there. I don't think I do on this pack. I might on the next pack though. Pack's dead. Getting in position for the next one.
Yeah, Little Shake, that's him. He gave me the specs that I use for TK and SSC, and they are very good specs. I'm sure that maybe others use the exact same specs, but I gotta give credit where it's due.
Same deal here.
Some more packs.
Again, Arcane Shot due to the sheep. Now there's so many mobs left of the sheep now that I can be safe using multi-shot. Someone broke the sheep there. Not sure how that happened. It wasn't me though. Not this time anyway. Keep an Arcane Shot for when I have to move. And just very typical stuff. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here, guys.
I wish that I did.
I feel like a bunch of trash packs are not going to help out in regards to all this. So on this one, I equip my chicken because I know that we're going to be using chickens before Leo. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit more to the next pack. So I think that we're pulling one more pack. I now have my Devil Sword Tooth and chicken equipped. I'm going to have these two equipped as much as I can before bosses. Chicken, 20-minute cooldown, cannot use it before every boss unless you're moving super slowly. Devil Sword Tooth, much shorter cooldown. You should be able to use it for every boss. Skip ahead a little bit here. So what my guild does for chickens is we kill most of the trash packs, and we wait for 1 or 2 mobs to be left up, and then you pop your chicken. Generally speaking, our priests will power word shield them, and then we'll run in and melee one of the mobs. And the only way to get your chicken to attack as a hunter is you have to run in and melee the mobs. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 battle squawks right now. 5 is the max that my party can get since everyone in my party is engineering. 4 is some pretty damn good RNG. Unfortunately, what happens here is my group wipes on this boss. I forget how, but I think one of the MDs don't go out. So let's see here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so that guy casts on the entire raid. Yep, dead.
Let me just wipe this.
So we wipe, we come back, I feign death and save my pet. Guys, if you're going to wipe on something, you can save your pet by just tonking and then running away and feign deathing. It's going to save you on consume costs. It's a nice little tool to just save gold through raids. There's that. Skipping ahead. Missing a 4 squawk run like that on a boss is not good. Everyone was pissed, not just him. So there we go, the MDs are better. I stick my pet on Skull. I could have had my pet on it sooner. I was just trying to make sure my MD went off properly because of what happened the previous attempt. Guys, if I were you, I would not recommend using your CDs like I am on the trash before Leo like this, or like the little, whatever the hell these things are called. Because let's see here. I do get full use out of it, but it's just not, it's not that optimal. I'm just being greedy and trying to maximize my DPS as a hunter. So I'm at 2.4k DPS right now. I don't think our other hunters have used their CDs yet. Leo comes out. Pet goes on. Notice how much I'm going to tonk on this fight, guys. As soon as Leo starts spinning, I'm pretty much popping that tonk as fast as I can. Nice little quick shots proc. I'm at about 3/4 mana right now. Not great, not terrible. We've got Wisdom up, though. Wisdom is a lifesaver on this. So I'm keeping it simple with a 1-1 since I'm quick-shotted. He starts spinning. I tonk real fast. Multi-shot. I should be using multi-shot here soon. There we go. I'm running. Arcane shot goes out. He's done spinning. Pet comes back out immediately. I'm spamming that attack key as soon as my pet comes out. Demon Leo comes out. Good RNG. Second Lust is out. I've got potion CDs coming up fairly soon. I forget if I use another haste pot or if I use a mana pot. I might not use either. Quick shots is up. Basically just doing a 1-1, subbing in multi-shot whenever I can. I don't know why I repositioned there. That was not good of me. Just spam and steady shot. Kind of bad RNG on quick shots. So I popped my CDs as Lust ended because that's when our second Lust came out. Not much I can do about it, unfortunately. So I popped a haste pot. I'm at about 1/3 mana right now. Dark Rune just to be safe. Oh, we got a third Lust here, didn't we? I should have saved my CDs for this third Lust. No, wait, he's going to RP soon, so never mind. I think that we just misplayed this. Our Lust timings need to be better. Because we've got Lust up for another 25 seconds, and he's going to RP here any moment, if I'm not mistaken. My pet's back out a little bit late. Bring my pet out. Use my second trinket. He RPs. We've got 15 seconds left on Lust. And I just popped my second trinket. Not a good Lust usage on our part. We need to pop both of them earlier once like the main 3 trash packs are dead before this boss. A little bit late sending my pet in. I need to be better about that. I get a quick shots proc, not bad. At this point, guys, Leo's at like 5%. I'm not gonna, lose DPS by having my pet get tonked. He's probably gonna lose buffs here. I'm taking a shit ton of damage myself. Our healers are coming in clutch though. Alright, so somehow, some way, I don't think my pet or myself dies here, if memory serves. I think this was a rank 1. This was either a rank 1 or a rank 2 for me. It might have been a rank 2. But still, really good damage. I think Chris's pet died early. It happens. This boss can definitely mess your pet up, especially if your healers are not on it. Our healers saved my ass, and my pet's ass week after week after week. So I've got nothing but praise for them. They kill it. And if I did not have them healing my pet and myself there at the end, I'd be a dead man. Moving on. I think that you guys have seen enough trash packs to kind of know what's going on here. I'm not going to go too much into the rest of the trash. Kind of boring stuff for the most part, unless you guys want me to go over it. Just the big guys. Typical stuff. I should be using my CDs here because we have 2 or 3 more trash mobs to kill for the boss. I think I'm just playing it safe. Okay, so I do use it. I've got both on CD now. That's good. I've got my sappers up for this. This is a really scuffed attempt on Fathom Lord this week. But I think I walk into this fight with everything including sappers. As a hunter, I should be running ahead and pulling this pack right now. I am not, because I'm an autist. I probably get yelled at anywhere from 5 to 10 times a night for not pulling fast enough. And while it's true that every hunter can be pulling, just take the initiative, do it. I'm scared to, mispull something and wipe the raid. That's always our fear as hunters, right? Obviously, you want to avoid that, but in this case, there's just one more pack way up here. No risk of pulling anything else. I should be going for it. Skipping ahead. I think I've got the MD on the prop paladin here. I've got my chicken. I just used double sword tooth. Just redid a lot of my buffs, including elixirs, scrolls, food.
He's got 30 seconds, heads up.
Alright. So this attempt is really bad because our prop paladin stays too close to all of us. I get hit by tornado for a bunch. This week I had a really shitty DPS on this fight. This week though, I think I hit rank 1, so we kind of redeemed ourselves this week a little bit. But this is an example of what not to do in an attempt right here. So I MD Moon. Tornado's already on me. I'm getting owned. Everyone's getting owned. I stay in the tornado because I'm an idiot and I am not familiar with this fight at all. I can't find my target because I'm panicking at this point. So my entire CD window there was wasted. Let's take note real fast. Chris is at 3.6k DPS. Alright, we're about 20 seconds into the fight. I'm at 2.7k. That's a massive difference. I still have haste pot up too. When I have a bad opener on a boss fight like this, and I'm enduring some mechanic I'm not used to, I panic pretty quickly. Obviously having more experience on a boss fight, learning what to avoid and whatnot is really important. I still was not accustomed to this boss yet. Even right now, I'm still not accustomed to it. Although, one thing I will say is this. I think that I may have saved the haste pot here because the week prior, I got mana burned by one of these mobs. I forget which one it is. And if you get mana burned, which is complete RNG on this fight, it will destroy your entire mana pool and you'll be in Viper the rest of the fight.
Oh my god, man.
So I think as a rule, at least for
What
this
the
week,
fuck does my shit keep targeting, man?
I'm panicking. You can hear me if you guys can hear my stream right now.
No, the sword was in the corner last time.
So I'm at like half mana. I'm keeping my mana CD or my mana pot CD up just in case. I did not get hit with the mana burn. I use a dark rune instead. But yeah, if you're afraid of the mana burn and you think that your mana might be an issue, just use a fell mana pot, or keep that CD open in case you're like, oh well, the mana burn's been used. I should be safe. I can now use a haste pot. Something like that. But yeah, really bad attempt. This is a really scuffed pull for everyone. Our arms warrior is dead. Mr. Miley himself. So I do haste pot here. No quick shots though, so I can't really 2-1 effectively. No rapid fire either.
Get wisdom.
Ugh.
Wisdom on the boss.
So I'm running low on mana here. I should not have used that haste pot. I should have used either a regular mana pot, a fell mana. I don't think a fell mana is necessary here, especially with how expensive they are. I might swap Viper. I'm not sure if I do or not. I don't. But I'm forced to use steady shot to the end. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 members dead. 4, very important raid members dead. Bad attempt through and through. I could have certainly avoided the tornado, which I did not. I'm raging because I'm a loser and I let my emotions get the best of me, which is dumb, and it's from playing Dota. If I never played Dota, that would not happen. I would be the emotionally mature 28-year-old that I should be, but I'm not. Oh yeah, we barely kill this guy at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna skip ahead. La da da. Killing some Murlocs, boring stuff. For the Murloc packs, especially, guys, there's so many of them, and they all stay close together. Just use explosive traps as much as you can. Keep multi-shot on cooldown. Just the usual stuff that you should already be doing in SSC for sure. No GCD missed once again. Oh no, what have I done? Okay, we're good. Ready check goes out. Pull in 10 seconds. Alright.
5, 4,
Yeah, you're in the wrong
3,
group, aren't you, Laplace?
2, 1.
So we get Lust here. As soon as we get Lust. Oh, my Bestial Wrath doesn't go out. What the hell? So I didn't hit Bestial Wrath enough, and I never got a use on it as a result. Big no-no. And this is the exact reason I have Show Tooltip for Bestial Wrath on my big CD button.
Resisted, that's not good.
I think I realized this a little bit into the pool. But this has happened to me more than once, and this is something that I should be avoiding at all costs, but it still happens from time to time. You know, just simple mistakes, guys, rookie mistakes that everyone makes, or at least a lot of people like myself do. So I don't know when I realize it, but it should be fairly soon. I get a Frost Trap down, left side, gotta move a little bit for it, no big deal. Multi-shot gets used on the Murlocs. I should be going in for a Sapper here. Yep, Sapper gets used.
Oh wait, I didn't use Bestial Wrath. What the fuck is wrong
This
with
is when I realized I don't use Bestial Wrath.
I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't use Bestial Wrath.
So I mean, at this point my DPS isn't bad, but missing Bestial Wrath is... it's like the biggest bad thing that you can do to your own DPS. Outside of letting your pet die. So I don't know when I use it. I might wait for my Bloodless Brooch and stuff to come back up. Just a mistake that I really shouldn't be letting happen. I think somehow at the end of all this I still ended at like number 3 in the world for overall boss and trash, which is embarrassing because I could have played this way better as an entire raid. So I've still got my Goblin Sapper on CD. I'm gonna wait a little bit. These Murlocs should still be up by the time that comes back up. Let's see. Yep. I gotta click it. Boom, big damage. So I mean, I'm at 2.6k right now, not bad. You know, optimal sappers, frost traps kind of hurt because we can't use explosive traps, but the raid comes first. If your prop paladins and your guys' guilds get comfortable enough to the point where they don't need to kite anymore, that's huge for us because that allows us to use explosive traps, and that's no small amount of damage. But yeah, at this point the Murlocs kind of just run loose. And it's no bueno. We've got 1 Holy Paladin dead and 2 Locks dead, along with an Enhance at this point.
We're gonna die here. I don't think we're getting this.
Did we wipe? I don't remember what happens here. We might kill this. So I've got my CDs up. I should be using them very shortly. Fell Mana Pot. I could have gotten it with a regular Mana Pot here. Alright. Finally, I used Bestial Wrath. My Rapid Fire's got 3 seconds on it. I'm going to use it as soon as I can. I should have waited for my Rapid Fire before I popped everything. Something to learn from. What's up, MTeater777? I just miss pet as much as I can. Don't use men pet if you can avoid it. Oh, we wipe on this, don't we? Yeah. Okay, so this is a wipe. I forgot about this. So we all die. Alright, second pull. Here we go. So this time, I will be remembering to use Bestial Wrath. I think. I'm lusted. I wait for my MD. Yep, so after I MD, we got MD, guys. Super important as hunters. That's when I pop my shit. Lust fortunately lasts long enough to where I can use the first few seconds to make sure all my stuff is in order before I use my big CDs. So this is a much better opener. Chris is still owning me. Could be better RNG. Could have just had a more smooth opener. Probably more smooth. I'm still getting used to this class overall. But yeah, I'm full mana. All my CDs are used properly. I hate this part. I absolutely hate Morrigram because every week I get no less than 2 of these debuffs. And in fact, this week, if I'm not mistaken, I actually died on it on the second one. Sucks, but what can you do? So Murloc's coming in, kind of low on HP. God, as a hunter, we lose so much uptime after getting graved. It's actually ridiculous. Alright, so I'm going to sapper here any moment. I get a frost trap down. Position myself a little bit. I should be sappering here. Yeah, big damage, big damage.
Dude, again?
Another grave.
What?
Because God hates me. So at
fucking
this point,
crazy.
I have 2 graves,
This is
and the
actually
other hunter
ridiculous.
is 800 DPS ahead of me, just because of RNG alone. Well, and he's a lot more experienced as a player than I am. But, I mean, RNG guys will destroy you in SSC and TK. I absolutely hate the amount of RNG that's in these fights. Both raids have a bunch of RNG, whether it be MCs on Vash and KT, or whether it be Watery Graves on Morrigram, or Arcane Missiles on Solarian. You can easily die to those. And as a hunter, Fell Reaver, or Void Reaver, sorry. I think I got hit with like 16 orbs on Void Reaver yesterday, which is astronomically high. So I'm going to run back, position myself, Frost Trap down, because I'm a good hunter that does his job like 50% of the time. Morgrim's starting to get a little bit low. My other Sapper charge is coming up, so I should be using it. I should be getting a multi-shot off here. There we go. Multi-shot gets used. I think I hit 3 targets there. I'm not entirely certain. I have not looked at the logs that deep. But yeah, I mean, overall, this is going to be a bad attempt for me because I got hit with 2 Watery Graves, and that's automatically indicative of a really rough time on your meter. Boss starts getting moved. I move with it. Arcane Shot comes out. Decent transition from me. Had Arcane Shot up so I could use that as I moved. Don't need to use that much. The orbs start looking from the right here. I think I glance. I might move a little bit closer, but I don't think we need it ultimately. So I end at 2.2k. Chris ends at 2.5k. Mage did well. Warlocks too. But yeah, RNG fight, guys. If you get graved, it sucks, but it is what it is. I bitch and party because I'm a loser, and I really shouldn't, but I do. More trash packs, simple stuff. I'm going to move on to Vosh, I think. Do we wipe it all on Vosh? I'm actually not sure. We do. Do we wipe on Vosh and Tyrade's dead when I skip ahead? That's a yes. Alright. I might have autism, by the way, but what's the right order of CDs? Well, it depends, Dars. It's all situational. I mean, there's a bunch of scenarios where you want to use Arcane Shot, assuming... So, let me just answer your question real fast. Arcane Shot after you're steady, assuming there's like a sheeped target or something that you can't hit. But you always want to use multi immediately after steady shot, assuming you're not hasted too much, and assuming you can hit all mobs there. So, M-Teeter, this is not a VOD from last night. This is a VOD from the week before. But we did end up killing Vosh last night. We had to, I think, clear our caches along with something else. But yeah, as I run on Vosh, guys, we use the pillar. The Druid peaks. We have the Druid tank the first phase. His threat is ridiculous. I mean, look at this shit. Chris and I are both owning. Selbink's owning. Just doing a lot of DPS. Now, notice I'm using a Dark Rune as early as I can, guys. This is a very, very mana-intensive fight. KT is the same way. You want to be using that Mana Potion and that Dark Rune as early as you can so that the cooldowns come up ASAP. Don't be that guy that waits until you're at half mana to start using them. It's not good gameplay, and you're going to suffer for it as a result. So as soon as I get to a point where my mana bar will fill to the brim, whether I use, you know, a Dark Rune, a Mana Pot, or a Fell Mana Pot, I'm popping one for sure. Now on the opener here, I did use a Haste Pot, right? So since I use a haste pot, my pot CD is not going to come up for a bit, and I can use a dark root instead. So I'm at like 80% mana right now. You know, not bad going into phase 2. Now, guys, if you really want to like maximize your DPS on this fight, and you're a hunter with some pull sway in your guild, and you don't have, you know, strict assignments, what I would try to do, if you can, and this is not good, this is not being a good guildie, right? Like, you're going to be an asshole if you do this, but if you really want to maximize your DPS, you can do this. Ask to not have to kill elementals. I think that ideally, if you want to pump DPS in phase 2, which is the roughest phase for everyone right now, you want to have your hunter's pet on the Naga in the middle, and you want to be DPSing, you know, the big long boy, the jellyfish thing. Because the more that you send elementals, the more overall damage you're going to lose. But it's ultra important that no elementals reach the middle, right? So you have the choice to be a good raider, which is what you should do, morally. But if you want to be that guy, you know, for a week or two out of this tier, and you just really want to pump DPS, you can just go in the middle, stick your pet on the Naga, and then kill a Strider. Now, I do something kind of clever here. I use Bestial Wrath as I go on the Strider, and that way my pet won't get feared. You're going to be waiting at least 3 minutes during this phase regardless, so you can use your Bestial Wrath at least once. I use it a little bit late here. I've still got, you know, a couple seconds left on my CDs. They're running down still. Next Naga comes in, I put my pet on it, Arcane Shot as I run through, and I think I'm setting up for the next Tainted Orb here. Not sure why my pet runs back to me here. Yeah, Dars, you want to use Judgment of Wisdom as much as you can, especially in these long fights. I beg for Judgment of Wisdom on every fight, but especially on these ones where mana becomes a big, big issue, and it gets expensive if you're using Fel mana pots. You want to tell your Holy Paladin, hey bud, you're my friend, you're very handsome, I love you, please put Judgment of Wisdom up. And if it's not the Holy Paladin, maybe it's someone else, you know? Some paladin. So here, I'm kind of saving mana by not doing my 5-5-1-1 rotation. I could be getting away with using it, honestly. But I'm being a little sissy boy because I don't want my mana to run low. I'm at like 2/3 mana in total right now. Oh, blessing. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I feel that. It's a little bit iffy. I wouldn't feel comfortable asking for it quite yet because Chris and I pop CDs so early that there's a very serious chance we pull aggro if Feign Death resists. But yeah, I agree with you for sure. I'm an idiot who can't position himself, so I get feared here. Big no-no. Don't get close to the Strider. And it's times like this where knowing what to do with your pet becomes really difficult, guys. Like,
Toss it up to me if you can. Never mind, I got it.
my pet's kind of just DPSing whatever right now. I get the core. I take forever to find DK on my bars. Even though he's right there. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I finally find him. He gets feared, so it's not a great toss on my part. Alright, so here I think I put my pet back on the Naga in the middle. But yeah, guys, the biggest way to maximize your DPS in this phase is put your pet on that Naga always. I shouldn't be DPSing the Naga right now. I should be shooting my arrows at the Strider. My pet's on the Naga dies. Back on the Elementals. And I'm kind of just doing elemental duty. I should be on the Strider, but I know that my side right now is relatively empty, and I don't want any of these reaching the boss, so I kind of just finish these off while the Strider dies. If I'm being honest, this is bad gameplay for me. I should be closer to the center, let these elementals come in, and I should be DPSing the Elite for sure. Like, I'm putting my pet on the Elite once it's at 80% HP. I need my pet on that thing ASAP. The reason I don't have a good Vosh parse yet is because I'm very unaware in phase 2, and I'm panicking to get the elementals killed as soon as I can, which again it's like anxious gameplay for me, and I should be a little bit more patient and smart about it. So I'm good here because I finally, you know, DPS the Strider a little bit. I get out of range, I run, I use Arcane Shot. Half mana right now, give or take. I've got a Fel mana pot CD coming up pretty soon though. Am I casing the Naga here? Always, dude. Yes, of course. So Vosh is back out, and the Strider's still alive. Okay, let me make this clear to everybody here that's watching. I am being a grade A fucking idiot right here. This is I am painting the picture of the typical dumb hunter who cares only about damage in this very moment right here, okay? I think that we wipe on this attempt, if memory serves, but the reason I'm an idiot is because I'm DPSing Vosh while there's still a Strider up, and there's an Elemental up over here. So I'm thinking, Zug Zug, let me do some damn damage, when I should be calling that Strider. 100%. Don't do this. Look at that. Look at my dumb ass pulling threat on Vosh because I'm trying to do too much DPS.
What?
This is everything that you do not want to be right here, okay, guys? Like, my level of self-guilt after dying right here is so great that words could not possibly do it justice. Look at this. Look at me on the threat meter here. Oh, my name's Enthos. I'm a fucking idiot.
What?
Dead. Like that. I should be calling the Strider. And then we've got Infidelic dead now here as well. I even had my misdirect up for our druid, and I didn't use it. Terrible gameplay. Terrible, 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 terrible gameplay on my part. Regardless, Laplace, it's still terrible gameplay for me. I could have MD'd you. I should have been killing the Strider. There's so much differently I could have done right there. But instead, being the typical idiot that I am, I pop my CDs and try to kill the boss to maximize my DPS, despite having a terrible phase 2 in this fight. Not good. Not good at all. So once again here, guys, I'm not going to bore you with the phase 2 details. Typical stuff. I misplay phase 2 in a major way. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Strider's out. I'm going to wait a little bit while our Ellie Shaman gets aggro on him. And we've got the Poison Boy right here. So I'm running in, Arcane Shot, Multi-Shot. Nope, I'm just going to run into Melee Weave. So I know where DK is. Much faster throw. Okay. And I'm back on the Strider. Now this Strider's low enough to the point where I don't really want to use my CDs to keep my pet on it. My pet's not on the Naga. Bad gameplay for me. I finally put my pet on the Naga right there. No, I don't, dude, because I'm an idiot. Like, there's just so much that I'm doing wrong here, guys. And this is exactly why I don't have a good parse in this fight yet, is because I'm so clueless as to what to do properly. I'm prioritizing killing Elementals, which is good. Like, I'm doing that for the boys. But at the same time, I could be optimizing my gameplay in a major way. So here, I finally stick my pet on that guy. I've got auto dash on because, again, I'm a dumb hunter who doesn't play properly. Another Tainted Core. Throw it to DK. My pet's still not on the Naga. This is just a giant example of me being fried. And I swear I'm going to be done with the self-loathing here soon. My pet finally runs in. He gets 2 autos before the mob dies. I'm on the Strider. And the biggest thing here for you guys, the biggest problem here for me is my positioning is just awful. I don't know where to be half the time, and I'm either too far from these packs to put my pet on them properly, or I'm too far to do DPS to the Striders optimally. And there's a lot to be learned from this position here. So like here, you know, I do the right thing, kill the Elementals coming towards the center. Put my pet on that, finally, as I should be, at 100% HP. Yeah, Dars, I keep auto dash on. I shouldn't. It's really bad gameplay. And the last raid I turned it off for most of it to kind of test the waters. My pet's at about 1/3 HP here. I tonk just to be safe. So, you know, this is what I should be doing here. I'm finally killing the Strider a little bit. I set my pet on the Elemental. That's decent micro for me. I should be keeping my pet on the Naga. Why is my pet not on the Naga? So yeah, guys, just bad micro, bad decision making, bad positioning. Kill the Strider. Elementals once again. Oh man, these things are getting close. Nice little wind fury from our Ret Paladin there. Get lust because the boss comes out, and I'm not doing the right thing in killing Elementals. I should be doing that.
Oh no, I needed a mana pot there.
I realized I made a grave error in using a haste pot there. So I don't think I'm going to use any more multi-shots. I think here I'm just going to be using steadies. But yeah, I made a grave error there, and that I I use a haste pot instead of a fell mana pot. And this, guys, if you're like below 1/3 mana and Vosh is at 45%, don't use a haste potion. Use a mana potion. Be smart. Our paladin keeps Judgment of Wisdom up, so we're chilling in that regard. I've got my second trinket up here, which I am not using. I think we use our second lust here soon. I tonk, Peck gets kind of low, some poison in the center. And I think at some point I'm going to bring my pet back. Yeah, I bring my pet back. I'm just a little bit afraid. Switch to Viper. I hate switching to Viper. It feels terrible. And then I use my second trinket. Just nothing but 1/1 for me right now. Dark Rune's about to come up. I think I Dark Rune and then switch back to Hawk if memory serves. My pet's in the green stuff. Somehow he's not taking damage. Kind of based. Alright, he's out of the green stuff. And you know, the hunters ended at the top on that fight. It was just a bad attempt overall. And I could have, listen, we could have got way higher DPS if I had, put my pet on the proper packs, etc. Just the easy stuff, guys. The very, very easy stuff. Now, that's it for SSC. I've got a question for you guys. Do you guys want me to go through last night's TK? Because I can do that if you want me to. I don't know how interested you guys are in a VOD review for TK. So if you could respond right now, let me know. Have you ran into Tonk causing your character to be completely stuck? If so, how do you handle it? Yes, I have run into that. You gotta Tonk again. Or you can use an Elixir of Dream Vision. I've found that both work. But yeah, that happened once to me on TK and I was panicking.